thank you everybody for coming on today's webinar. For those of you who haven't been on our webinars before, my name is Christelle Wren and I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at HRLocker. Today we have, I suppose, one of my favorite webinars that I enjoy doing, which is the product updates. So we'll be going through a number of things that we've updated within the system. So specifically, we'll be speaking today about the pension auto enrollment and how to, that's obviously coming down the line for specifically for Irish-based companies, but it's already in for UK-based companies. But for those companies in Ireland who it's come in for, we'll just show you how you can manage that for January. Also, we'll be looking at our new introduction for sick leave management. So we'll show you how, well, I will show you how to break it up between paid sick leave, unpaid sick leave, statutory sick leave, and different types of sick leave. We'll also be going through work pattern rotations. So we'll be looking at setting up different shifts and then setting up perhaps a 3 or 4 week shift schedule and then assigning it to somebody or to an office and to rotate them, I suppose, indefinitely over the next 12 months. We'll also be doing one other feature, which was released, that we've kind of snuck it in there for today, which is our AI chatbot as well, which is being put into the system as well. So as always, I have Jenny with me today, who will be managing the Q&A chatbot. The Q&A in throughout. So please, if anybody has any questions throughout the webinar, please stop me from speaking and type a question in there, and I'll try to get through as many questions as possible. Some of these options are for specific packages within the system. So I will explain, I suppose, which packages are relevant to each module as well. And obviously, if at any stage, if you guys are interested, for example, in turning on the work pattern rotations or the pension auto enrollment or anything like that, we can set up a call with support or myself in regards to how to set that up for you guys. So hope you get the most out of today's webinar, and we will start first, I suppose, with the work pattern rotations. And I'm just going to open it up here for you now. A little bit of here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so I'm logged into HRLocker here. So I'm here in the dashboard. And for those of you who are very used to using the system, you'll know that everybody in the system needs a work pattern, which primarily, I suppose, is the days of the week that that people work. There's a number of reasons there's a number of things that a work pattern does, and specifically a work pattern, it will affect people's holidays. So when somebody requests a week off, their work pattern is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what it'll be. Those will be the days they're taking out their holidays. It also affects their timesheet. So if they're whatever timesheet that you're using, whether it's a clock-in based or honesty-based system, if it's an honesty-based system, it'll pre-populate the timesheets. If you're using some kind of payroll reporting, it might also affect the rounding, things like that as well. So I've just gone in here into the settings, and over here in the settings page, there's work patterns. And if we click and view edit the work patterns, you'll see here I have a long list of work patterns. Most companies will probably have 3 to 4 work patterns if they're kind of if they're an office-based company and kind of Monday to Friday, 9 to 5:30, and then they may have somebody who's working maybe 9 to 2 or doesn't work Friday. So when we start to work with a company, we'll always ask, well, how do people work? So that's very important, just to be asking people, okay, so what kind of structure, is there a specific structure for the people who are maybe on the floor or on the operational side of things? Is it different to the office? So we'll really sit down with you first and figure out how do people actually work. So then we'll look at adding a work pattern. So we're going to add a shift pattern here. So we're going to go that this, for example, is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is going to be a long one. So it's going to be, we're going to say that this is going to be the morning shift. So for example, they'll start at 4 o'clock in the morning. They get an hour break. And it's a long day, so they work until 2 o'clock. Okay, and it's the same for every single day. Okay. And because it's a little bit early in the morning, we might name it something very simple. Okay, so there's our work pattern. We're going to put in the name here, and we're going to put in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mornings. Okay, so that's what we're going to call this one. That's the first rotation. We're going to add another work pattern. We're going to call this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's going to be same again. Obviously, you can, whatever you want it to be, it's quite flexible. Just trying to make it as easy to explain to you as possible. For this one, again, just for want of better naming, we're going to make this very simple. We're going to make it Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings. Okay. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. We're going to do one more work pattern, and we're going to do afternoons. Oh, we'll do afternoons. So 8 o'clock. Maybe. Let's say. So 2 o'clock to. Why did I say 8 o'clock here? 2 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay. Alrighty. And we're going to do this as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. I'm sure you guys can guess what I'm going to call it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and call it complete. Okay. So they're the 3 shifts that I'm going to be working with. Now we're going to start rotating them. So we're going to go into the work pattern rotations here. Okay, so I'm going to click into that work pattern rotation, and I'm going to add new work pattern rotation. So the first week, we're going to go into being our, I'm going to just put there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Okay, that's the first week. Then we're going to go into Thursday, Friday, Saturdays mornings. And then the third week, it's going to be Monday, Tuesday. Oh, just late, sorry. Apologies. Late. So we'll see. So if, for example, John is working as an operator or maybe a salesperson. So week 1, they're going to be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Week 2, they're going to Thursday, Friday, Saturday mornings. Week 3, then they start working late. Okay, and obviously you can have 7 or 8 of these, but for ease, we'll just call it. So we're going to call it, we'll call it 3. We'll do 2 earlies, 1 late work for operators. Okay, we're going to save that. There's our rotating work pattern, and now we can group assign it here. So if I want to group assign it, I can either assign it to an entire office, I can assign it to a department, or I can assign it to a team, or I can assign it to individual employees. So I am going to assign it to a couple of people here. So we're going to choose, I think we're going to assign it to Liz here. So Liz, Adam, Kathy, David, Kelly. Okay, so we're going to assign it to these guys. And they're all, so when does this work pattern start? When does this rotation start? So we're going to say it starts the 29th. Okay. So we're going to see here now the rotation start date is started the 29th, but be a little bit awkward. I'm going to say that David, Kelly, and Liz, change to Kathy. Actually, Kathy, David, and Kelly are going to start the week after, so that their rotation is different. They're going to start in the earlies. So they're going to start in the second week. Okay. I'm just going to add that. And their dates have changed there. Okay. So what does this mean? Let's have a look here. So we're going to go into Liz first. That's me over here. So we're going to go into Liz. Just make sure I've saved everything before I go. Make sure you press that save button, not like me. Okay, so we're going to go into Liz. And we're going to go into our settings. And we're going to check the days that she's assigned. Okay, so her working days are here. All right. And she's got her work pattern rotations. Obviously, click the wrong button for work pattern rotations. So you can see what work pattern rotations she's on. Okay. So now, if I am to go to our time off, is this time off here? Look here at her days off calendar. And remember, we had Kathy. Liz, we're going to get to Liz McMahon here. So she started at the end of next month, didn't we? Yeah. So here you'll see her work pattern has changed now to what that actually is. So actually something that. Okay. So I'm going to go back here to the work pattern rotations. Work pattern rotations. Just a minute. Actually, it's not it. Let's see if I can see. That's it. Bang up the utilities. Okay, we're going to send it to her. She's going to start on the 28th of July. Okay. Starting on the 29th of July. Let's go back to this. Oh, I have to press the save button. Every time I do that, you can tell me to put something in the jar. So let's go back to Liz here in her settings. And now we're going to look at our work pattern rotations and we'll see where she is at. Okay, fantastic. So now you'll see. Thankfully, I press save. So Liz is on mornings, then she's on Thursdays, Fridays. So you can see it's rotated. It's just assigned it out for basically forever. It'll keep rotating. And then, for example, if for some reason you want to change Liz that maybe on the 26th of August, she's swapped shift, she's going to do a different shift. You can come in here quickly and just change it that actually she's going to be on mornings that week. You can just press submit then and it'll change it then just for that week. So it's just a nice way to be able to, I suppose, manage and assign really quickly those kind of rotating shift patterns. So again, then if I go into the time off there, when we looked the last time, you'll have seen that Liz was off on everything. But if we go back here now, go to next month. Yep, you'll see here. So she was off those days. She's only working 3 days this week, 3 days this week. So when Liz requests leave, if she requests leave from Monday to Sunday, these 3 days are going to come out. Only 3 days will come out. If she requests leave from Wednesday to Sunday on this week, only 1 day will come out. So you understand how that works. So the work patterns are really important in regards to your actual time off. A little bit of prep work to do in regards to them. But once you start to, if those kind of rotating work patterns apply to your company, even if it's, for example, that somebody works every third Saturday or something like that, you can just do 3 weeks of normal and 1 week of that it's 5 days a week. That it includes that Saturday. So if anybody wants to maybe have a chat about that or have any questions or specifically set up a time with one of the support teams to go through with how to set up those rotating work patterns for your company, we'd be happy to discuss them with you. Okay. So again, any questions, pop them in there. Next on the list for us is the reporting sick leave. So as many of you will know, sick leave legislation has changed in regards to the actual mandatory sick leave that companies have to pay. So when we go into here, we go back into the settings here, and you can do this per officer. This is set at an office level. So I'm going to go into the office here. And you'll see I'm going to go into, my head office is based in Ireland. If, for example, you have a head office based in Poland, or so you have another office based in Poland or UK or Germany, you can set up different types of sick leave for those different jurisdictions. But we're going to look at the Irish one. So we're going to go into here. We're going to go into our time on settings. Okay. Sorry, my deepest apologies. It's our time off settings. And we're going to scroll the whole way down here. And you'll see here now there are different types of sick leave types. So previously there was only one sick leave type called sick leave default, and now I can have different types of sick leave. You can also put in your different payment IDs for the different sick leaves. So let's add a type of sick leave. So we're going to go to add new here. When I put in the sick leave type, so we're going to put it in as statutory. Okay, I'm going to designate it as sick leave. All right, it's automatically private because sick leave would always be private so that your manager or the admin will know that that person has been on sick leave, but other people in the office will just see that their colleague is out on leave. They won't see that it's on sick leave. Okay. So the different types of sick leave. So the managers and admins, or just admins, are allowed to request this leave, decide whether there's a payment ID, so whether it's paid or non-paid sick leave. So you may have a different rate of pay for sick leave, or if you're pulling down that payroll report, you may want it as a different, whatever your payment ID is for that. So does it populate on the timesheet? So again, this is important whether that person's getting paid for that leave or not. Okay, so we're going to say they do. There's a payment ID of sick pay for this, and we're going to submit it. All right, so now you'll see when I scroll the whole way down here, in terms of sick leave types, there's the statutory sick leave here. I can do a quick little edit here, for example, if I've done something wrong, that we're going to keep it that way. So this sick leave type has now been assigned to the head office. All right, so if I go into the directory, I just want to make sure who's in the head office. Okay, so yeah, okay. So if I go into time off, here I am, Liz myself, and sick leave logs, and I'm going to record sick leave for, let's put in for the 2 weeks off in August. All right. I can't choose that it's sorry, well, I'm in as administrator, so I can put in that. So I'm just going to record. If Liz was to come in, she would just be recording it as sick leave. All right. Now the manager will come into the sick leave logs, or the admin, whoever you decide has the authority to do this, and they can edit the sick leave. Okay, and they can split the leave. So say, for example, if we go into that, we want to split the leave into 2 records. So we want to split it into 2 records because the first record, the start date was the 12th of August, and that was statutory. So it was statutory paid sick leave, and the next one was, well, we'll just put it in as paid sick leave. So it's not statutory, it was what we just pay. And the next record started, let's say, on the 21st of August. Okay. You put up your sick leave notes. You see here, I can do a quick change here. So this first one here, statutory, is going to be paid 5 days. It's going to be a different pay element for that. And then these days here, there's only 1 day here. It is paid sick leave, but it's not coming out of the statutory amount. We'll confirm it then. Okay, so you can create as many different sick leave types as you want, whether it's mandatory, whether it's statutory, whether it's long-term sick leave, whether it's perhaps just the initial sick leave for maybe if somebody's out on, for 3 months and they're getting paid full, then after 3 months, they may be getting on half pay. So you can put in lots and lots of different types of sick leave types. There's a question here, which I'm delighted to answer, is can the employee log the sick leave? I asked them to do that and upload the doctor's note where relevant. So Orla, they absolutely can. So the employee can come in here and record their sick leave, and then it's up to the manager and admin to come in and then edit, are they getting paid for the sick leave or not? So, and we would have the exact same policy as yourself, that we would say if somebody's on sick leave, that they come in and record their sick leave. Then obviously after that, HR will come in for ourselves here and decide whether that is paid or unpaid sick leave. And after that, they can be put into a different type. Okay. So again, any questions on that? Any more questions on that, please let me know. Okie doke. So let's move on then to the, oh, I have another question here, which is great. Do we Jenny published it too fast for me. Do we need to contact support to be able to add different types of sick leave, as I don't see this option? So yeah, so if there isn't any type there, if you want to just drop a, I think Jenny, you actually have a how-to document to put in there, but we can just drop support a note and we can get it all set up for you. Okay. So then the next section here I'm going to go back to settings over here. Okay, so as you may or may not know, in January 2025, Ireland will be introducing auto enrolment. That has already been introduced in the UK, my pension side of things. There's lots of kind of fine tuning going on in how it's going to actually be managed. But what we do know for sure is that employees who do not have a pension will automatically be enrolled for the first 6 months, and then they opt out after that. So you can manage this within HRLocker. There will also be a government portal to be able to manage this as well, and it appears that it will be taken out. I was on a revenue webinar the other day, and they were explaining that there will be a portal, a government portal, where the employees can go in, opt in or out, and it'll automatically be taken out from the payroll side of things. And that's all fine. However, what we have put in here is a way for you as a company to manage whether the employee is opting into your own pension scheme or the government pension scheme, and also so you know basically has the employee opted in or out. Okay, so to do that, you're going to go back into your offices here. And again, because the pension opt-in or the auto enrollment is very specific to individual countries, excuse me, you set it up at office level. So again, we're going to go into head office, and I'm going to press the little pencil here, which is the edit button. And you'll see here, I'm going to turn on the pension. So either press show pension. So if I show pension, I can decide the auto enrolled opted out employee. So do I want the person to be auto enrolled? So you can decide, is it after 2 years, after 3 years, after, so what's the actual auto enrollment there? Send reminder email before pension auto enrollment. So you can just set up your who needs to be CC'd on, so copied in on that email. So, you know, if Jenny decides she wants to opt in to the pension, whether that's, for example, if you're offering perhaps a combination of the government pension or your own pension, they want to opt into that, who needs to be notified? Most of the time it's HR or somebody in finance, something like that. And you can upload the pension plan here as well. Okay. I'm just going to upload a generic one here. Just do a screenshot there. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's turned on for our head office. Now, when an individual comes to work and they start to work for you, let's find Liz again. Go to myself. They now have in their tab here, they now have a pensions tab. Okay. And you can see here that I am enrolled into the pension, but perhaps I want to opt out. Okay, you will not be enrolled back until you will not be enrolled back until you opt to. So my opt-out date is today. I have opted out and I don't want to be part of the pension. Okay, so you can basically, you can manage that to say Liz has opted out, she does not want to be, but you've set it that she will be reminded, you know, she'll be put back in every 2 years to say, hey, you need to go back into the pension. Okay. You can also, if she's opted into the pension, so we're going to opt in now, we're going to enroll into the pension, and we're going to choose which, are there any pension plans here? So we're going to, group 2, I'm going to enroll, I'm going to, that's the pension plan that I have put in there. Okay, and you can assign the pension to this person. Okay, so you can put in the review dates and start dates and all that kind of thing as well. So that's an easy way how to kind of, and Jenny, I think you have a lovely little piece there that you can copy and paste in regards to how to set up those pensions and how to assign it to the individual as well. Just going to do this. So I'm doing it for me. I just downloaded that. Oh gosh, that's all jumping all over the place for me. Okay. Now, the very next the last part, which I think is pretty cool, to be honest with you. So we're all about AI at the moment, everybody. It's hard to go somewhere without AI being mentioned. So before I go in, on your desktop, if you want this enabled, you can just drop a message into support, and there's the Ask HR bot. Okay, and it's based off of, it's linked to, depending if you're in Ireland or the UK, it'll be linked to Citizens Information or Ireland or the UK equivalent. And you can set this up for all your admins, all your managers, anybody in HR, perhaps specific employees as well. And for example, if I have specific questions like, what are the public holidays for Ireland? I'm going to ask it. Now, very important to remember that this is not working off any of your own data. This is working with citizens' information data. So none of your own data is being learned upon or anything like that. So it gives you the specific information here. Or I think the number one question we get asked on a daily basis is around public holidays. So what I think is nice is if you can say, I have an employee who works 3 days a week. One of them is Monday. Are they entitled to public holiday? Okay. Now you'll see here there's a drop down. I put that question to Ireland. If I wanted it, I can change it to the UK. So there's my answer. Part-time workers are entitled to public holidays, even if they're not due to work. And if you're a part-time worker, you must have worked at least 40 hours in the previous. So it gives you the answer there. It also, so if we're just talking about sick leave there, so what are the statutory requirements? Oops, I don't know. For Ireland. Okay, you see, it'll even take it if I've done a spelling mistake. So that'll give you the actual the HR side of things in regards to what the actual information is. It is AI generated content, so it is based off citizen information. It will give you the reference here to see if you're not really sure is it correct. You might go and just do the reference, and it'll bring you to these citizens where they actually got that information from. So if you're not happy kind of with the information, or you're looking for something a little bit more specific, you can kind of get it. We do have HR consultants here who work with us, and there is obviously a cost to that, but you can ask a HR consultant, and somebody will reach out to you in regards to that. But in regards to your generic everyday questions, you can ask to your heart's content. So I think that's pretty cool, and that goes on the dashboard here. But if you have it turned on, when you go into an individual, as an admin, you can decide, do you want to turn it on for, who do you want to turn it on for? So we'll turn it on at the top management level, and then you can decide who you want to turn it on for after that. If you want to turn it on for all your managers or just HR people, things like that. Okie doke. So I have a couple of questions here that I'm going to quickly look at. How do we set up an alert email to go to our accounts team if we want them to pay someone a friend bonus they are due after the person they referred has passed a probation period? So how do we set up an alert email to go to our accounts team if we want them to pay someone to refer a friend bonus they are due after the person they referred past probation period? So you can set up in regards to notifications around second, just find it here, in regards to probation. So you can set up who gets reminded of the probation period, and then you could probably have sent that this person is linked, that they were actually referred by this other person. But that would be the only way really to do it, is that if you put in the probation email CC that it goes to finance, that they've actually passed the probation period. Okay. Okay. What is the customer support email address? Yeah, so support HRLocker, or everybody has this little bubble here. Probably get a quicker response here from the bubble. Towards the end of the webinar, can you go back to the work patterns and show how to edit a work pattern? I can only see view, assign, and archive. So that is, so you cannot edit a work pattern. The reason why you cannot edit a work pattern, I'll go back here to the work patterns. If you were to edit a work pattern, it would change everything. So let me give you an example. So we go back here to Liz and we'll have a look at her work patterns that she has. So, okay. So if you were, for example, to go and edit this work pattern called Kathy Connor's pattern. So Liz has actually been on this work pattern since 2020, and numerous other people have also been on this work pattern. If you were to go and edit, it would change all our holidays back as far as 2020. So it would just change everything. So we do not allow you to edit a work pattern. You can archive if you don't want to use it anymore, but it still has to remain there because it's been used before. So you can create a new one. So if you've done something wrong, you can create a new one, but you can archive it or create a new one, but you can't actually edit it. So if we go back here to the work patterns, okay. For example, if I don't want to use this one anymore, I can archive it. Your archive ones will always be available for you, but you can't delete out of it. Okay. So that is the reason why. Basically, it's because if you edit it, it's going to change everything. Okay, so you just can't, if that makes sense. Okay, you can't edit the times. Sorry, what I put in there is you can edit you can put in the pay elements if they change, but you can't edit the times. Okay. Another question there. Sorry, I don't see the option for pensions on my software. So it is as part of the professional package. So if you're on essentials, it might not be part of the package that you're actually in. But if you reach out to support or somebody here within the green bubble, they can have a look at your package and turn it on for you if you so required. Can we set a maximum of paid sick leave days? So right now you can't set a maximum. You'll still have to just manage it in regards to how many paid sick leave days are actually allocated. When will the pension options become available within HRLocker, and will there be differentiation between the auto enroll and company pension options so that the employee knows what they're opting out of? So the pension, it is available there. So the UK have had it for a number of years, so that is actively available there. If you do not have it on in your system, contact support to see if you're on the right package for that, and they can go through with you how to set it up. And yes, you can differentiate between the different pension types that are there. So you can have a number of different pension types. And oh, sorry, one thing. So when you go into, just go back into me then. 1 second. So you can have a number of different pensions here that you can allocate to the person, and you can decide which ones they can actually opt into, and you can specifically show. Does sick leave still show on the Who's Off calendar? Again, depending on the actual level that you're on. If you are an employee and you don't have you're just a colleague of that person on the Who's Off calendar, it will show up as blue because that person will just be out because it's private. Regardless if it's paid or unpaid, it will for their manager or their admin, it'll show up as being green sick leave. So regardless if it's paid or unpaid. Okay. Okay. Sorry, just want to. Is the sick leave updated option part of different packages? No, so the sick leave is available for everybody. So once you go into, if it's not there, it should be we can turn it on for you. But if you go into your office settings here, you go into time off. Once you add, all right, once you add a different type of leave, you should have the option here to designate as sick leave. Okay. Okay, Jenny, have I missed any questions there? To make sure. Is there any questions? Oh, it's a very big picture of myself on the screen now. Okay, so I think the main thing for everybody really is if there are any of those options that you'd like to turn on, or you'd like to see, or you'd like to maybe just get a quicker, like a better run through of them, I would definitely either reach out to the green bubble on support. We're always happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay. There's everybody there online at the moment. Also the support at HRLocker email, or contact your account manager directly. Oh, sorry, Jenny. Thank you very much for putting that screen back on. So that would kind of be the main way to get in touch with anybody, and we're always happy to help you turn things on. Even if it's just for yourselves, I think sometimes people are a little bit afraid of the AI side of things. This Ask HR bot, if you want to just turn it on for the admin side of things, and you can just have a review and play around with yourselves as well. That's a nice little feature. So that is all from me today. I'm delighted to have had so many questions. Again, if anybody has anything else, please contact me directly or in support. And thank you for your patience today. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Well, we'll see you next month anyway. So thank you very much and take care.